Hey guys, what's up? Jay, the Illusion here, fresh off of watching episode 10 of season 5 of Samurai Jack. It's over. It's finally over and I'm happy it is. But we got some stuff to get into, so strap yourselves in. At the beginning of this episode, of course, Jack is captured. He is fettered to a wall by Aku and a corrupted Ashi. And instead of, just outright killing Jack like right then and there, Aku's just like, no, you know what we're going to do? I'm going to tell the people of the world a story. And we actually get the replaying of the old intro that existed in previous seasons of Samurai Jack, where Aku is narrating how Jack got flung into the future. I think that was really cool. Good job, Gandhi. And we got the dogs from season 1 who are watching. We got the monkeys and the guy who jumped good. We have the fish people who had tried to trap Jack for Aku, but actually, Jack wound up saving them and freeing them. We got everybody, the Ravers, and of course the Scoltsman and his daughters are watching this. And Aku's just like, finally I get to kill the samurai. Okay. Do I use this pointy arm or do I use this pointy arm? And what do I do? So as he's working on how best to kill the samurai, Jack is calling out to Ashi, you can do this. You can escape. He is not your father. And we get to see that Ashi is actually trying to fight the corruption that Aku has set upon her. But it's kind of a losing battle. She's not swimming on her own. She's drowning. And then Aku's just like, you know what? Daughter! You take care of this. This will be perfect. And Ashi's body, I love how they've animated how Ashi's corrupted form moves, because it's not really human. It has a human-ish shape, but it's really interesting how it moves. I love it. So, of course, Ashi just goes straight for the kill. One pointed arm. Aku's just like, good. So, just as Ashi is about to kill Samurai Jack, the cavalry arrives. The dogs, the ravers, the fish people, the woolies, with the blind archers people. Everybody shows up to save Jack. And of course, Aku is just like taking shots to the face, just kind of not caring. Every once in a while he goes, ow, because somebody poked him in the eye. We had a nice scene with the jumping monkeys. Aku is just like, flying monkeys? No, jump good. Oh man, the nostalgia in this episode legit hit me. And we got the Spartans who showed up. These Spartans were amazing. I actually thought from that episode that Jack had gone back into the past, or Jack had done something incredible, because the king of the Spartans was telling his children about Jack, that he had never seen Jack, and apparently they found out and rushed to go save him. Jack, everything he's done in these 50 years was not for no purpose. All these people are showing up to help him. So Aku, eventually, guy gets a little upset and creates multiples of himself that go kind of crazy and start attacking people. While this is going on, Jack, now freed, is trying to get to his sword, and Ashi blocks his path. I love how she moves, how she attacks Jack. It's just so alien. It looks amazing. So that is going down. Aku is just watching his people, his little split-off minions, wreck the armies. The Spartans are holding the line, and they're trying to save everybody, but it's a losing battle. They're kind of trying to hold themselves, and then you hear the bagpipes. The Scotsman shows up with magic bagpipes. I think he called them the bagpipes of Lethune in the episode or something like that. Something super, super Celtic. But he shows up with all of his daughters, and they charge in, attacking the minions of Aku, and kind of giving, this, like, fighting chance. So, the Scotsman and his daughters eventually run into Jack. His daughters go and fight Ashi, while Jack and the Scotsman have kind of like a little reunion. He tells him about all of his daughters, and yes, I'm dead. Kind of just a little bit. And the Scotsman's just kind of like, hey, I got daughters. You could probably marry any of them. And he's like, no, I kind of have someone. He's like, who? The big monster that's currently throwing your daughters all around. So as that's going on, of course, Aku is still in his fight. The giant, a giant robotic samurai shows up, controlled by some robots that Jack had saved in the past, and starts punching Aku in the face. Like, 8 to 9 just solid punches to the face. Oh, it felt great. There was this little comeuppance there. And Aku gets thrown around. He gets his horns ripped off. And then Aku's just like, nope, I'm done. I'm done. He manages to recollect himself, shoots up into the air, and there's this gigantic black, I guess, I want to call it like a wormhole, but this mass blots out the sun. Haha, 300. And just spikes begin to rain down on people. A lot of people get tagged, including the giant robot samurai and its controllers, its handler, its, I guess you could say, yeah, its controllers get wrecked. And that was sad for me. I was upset about that. They get wrecked, and a bunch of people are holding up shields. They're trying to protect themselves. The Spartans, of course, hold up their shields. They're fighting in the shade. And the Scoltsman's daughter, the one who's pretty much the one that has been focused on the most, is of course trying to knock the spikes off. She's got her shield and she calls out for her father, and her father takes the bagpipes of McLoon, or whatever they're called. They're magic. So he just plays them, and he's able to counteract Aku's offense. I thought that was really interesting, how he's somehow able to either have found or use some type of magical item that can kind of counteract Aku. We've seen magical stuff halt Aku. There are some things that Aku can't do because of certain magic. The elemental people in the Jack as a gangster episode, when Aku had to catfish Jack because he couldn't get to the gem without him. Stuff like that. Pretty awesome. So, of course, now Jack and Ashi have their big moment. Jack gets swirled up into the massive, weird, or like, whatever substance that you would call it, of Ashi that Ashi has become. And Jack is just moving through it, calling out to her. And then she calls back out to Jack. He sees that she's struggling. She can fight it. You can do this. I love you. And he gets shot back out. So now Jack is on the floor. He does not have his sword. And Ashi, this corrupted Ashi, grabs his throat and starts strangling him. You can see, this is a testament to Gandhi, you can see him kind of try to fight back. No! And he kind of just gives up, just closes his eyes. And Ashi lets go. Ashi somehow is able to overcome the corruption of Aku, and she's back. Aku, having, kind of, I guess, gotten bored or handled everything they needed to, walks over and is just like, "Oh, daughter, is he dead?" "No, I'm not killing the samurai." "What?" And Aku creates a nice sick alarm, goes in to attack Ashi, and she does the exact same. They cancel out. Ashi has everything that Aku has. She can turn her body into odd tendrils like Aku. She can shoot laser beams out of her eyes, and when Jack tells her, "Oh, you have all of this power," she's like, "Oh, I do!" Reaches out, grabs the sword, throws it to Jack, and then does the same screech that Aku used to fling Jack into the future. So, Jack's going back to the past, finally! And Jack shows up just as Aku has sent him on his merry way, and what follows is what we've all wanted to see happen to Aku for a very, very long time. It was a very one-sided fight. but it was enjoyable. There you go. Jack somehow manages to suck Aku into the sword, and then he stabs the ground. What's interesting is when Jack's father beat Aku, he kind of couldn't destroy Aku, but somehow Jack was able to. I don't know if that's just him becoming the hero that was needed for the sword. I don't know. I think it's very interesting because presumably Aku is dead. So yeah, Aku is legit dead, and Jack and Ashi make their way out. Ashi seems a little weak now that her father has died, but she's okay. She gets back up. See, that was the scary part, because I was, oh my god, this is Back to the Future. No! No, Ashi! But we seem to have avoided Back to the Future rules, and it looks like everything is fine. So, a large group of people gather. All the people who helped Jack get the skills that he used in the future for 50 years to eventually live long enough to defeat Aku. I mean, the guy from Africa who taught Jack how to use a staff and fight. The dude who taught Jack how to tame animals and ride horses. The guy who originally smuggled Jack out of the country. The Greeks who taught him how to wrestle. Just everybody shows up for this magical moment where Jack and Aku, or not Jack and Aku, Jack and Ashi are going to get married. It's awesome. Jack's looking good. Jack's dad looks proud. Ashi's looking good. Jack's mom looks so happy that her boy is going to get married. He's finally gone through whatever trials he's had, and it's going to be alright. And at this moment, I was just like, this kind of reminds me of Gurren Lagann. Please don't let this happen. And, well, I shouldn't have thought about it. Because since Aku was killed in the past, Ashi can never have existed. I guess Aku's latent power was able to keep her alive for this long, but it wasn't meant to be, I guess. Jack rushes over to Ashi after she collapses, and she says that since Aku is dead, I can't exist. I can't be. Jack just cries as she disappears. So at some point, Jack just has to peace out of the country for a little bit, at least the area for a little bit, and I can understand. His hair's down, it's not up, he's not looking happy, and he just kind of crouches up against a tree. As he's crouched up feeling sad, this little ladybug flies over to him and lands on his finger. He holds it up, and at that moment, smiles. Because Ashi's whole thing was the ladybug. She loved ladybugs. And I think at that point in time, Jack realized that he and Ashi saved not just the past, but the future, and possibly galaxies. We know that Aku was doing crazy things on other worlds, and they've saved everybody. They did it. It happened. Jack's love helped him save the world. And the sad thing is, she kind of gave up herself in this process. Jack stands up, smiles, and just lets the ladybug fly away. And you can see color return to this area. It's very similar because it was the same colors as the tree that Jack had taken Ashi to show her Aku's villainy. The one where Aku had destroyed all the trees or corrupted all the trees around, but just one. It was the same color as not only the field that Jack was looking over, but the tree that Jack was sitting on. They did it, and I know a lot of people are actually going to have a lot of qualms with this episode, with the ending. I personally thought that Jack would not get a chance to go back to the past. I thought that somehow Aku would try to take Ashi into himself, and then Jack would somehow find a way to seal both of them or destroy Aku, but Ashi was still sealed now, and that he would become some type of king in the future, the whole guardian image, and he would wait for Ashi to somehow come back. I assume that it would take another 50 years, the Scotsman's still a ghost, and his daughters are older, and Jack would still be waiting. And then, there's a nice little fade, and then credits play, and then there's a fade up of a hand reaching out of the ooze. That did not happen, but then again, we got a concrete ending. 8 out of 10, I guess. Tell me what you guys think in the comments down below. What you think of the ending to Samurai Jack. It's finally over. And despite what you think, I'm very happy. Despite if you don't like the ending, I'm very happy that we were able to get this ending. It's not often that that a fandom, after years and years and years and years, I'm not talking about like Community, like, oh, well, they were gone for a season. I'm talking about years. I was a little illusion when new episodes of Samurai Jack last came out. And for fans of Samurai Jack to get this is just amazing. I know a bunch of people, who love Firefly who are probably extremely upset right now. But, it's a very rare thing, and I'm happy that this happened. So tell me what you guys think in the comments down below about the ending, about everything, about the journey. And maybe shoot something on Twitter to Phil Lamar, to the voice of Ashi, I'm forgetting her name right now, the artist, and maybe shout out to Gendy for giving us this. Samurai Jack has finally made it back. Thank you guys for watching. Please be excellent to each other. Have a nice day.
Samurai drop! We will never forget you till the day we die. Samurai, samurai.